Hi everybody, welcome to the Diving Deep podcast. My name's Evie.
And my name's Lauren, and this is our first ever podcast episode. So we're going to start off by giving you a little bit of introduction about who we are, our journeys, why we're here, and then get straight into the podcast and let you know what this podcast is actually going to be about. Because I mean, it's been a long time in the making.
Long time.
Yeah, this is like our baby, and we've got a lot to share, a lot of things to speak about, and yeah, we just wanted to share it with other people as well. So
this is something we're really passionate about, so we hope that you'll come along on the journey with us and learn alongside us, and we'll just share little snippets of things we've learned and discovered along the way as well. How did we get here?
I don't know. I'm like, this is like a dream. I feel like we have voice noted about this for about a year. It started off going like classic, should we have a podcast together? Should we do a podcast?
Because we literally voice note each other back and forth for weeks for the last year or so.
Yeah, we don't live near each other. We're in a whole nother story how we got together, like a whole nother story.
Yeah, for another day.
And bless voice notes, because I am just a lover for voice notes, and so we will send probably like 20-30 minute voice notes.
It's like a podcast in itself. Like you can
to each
put
other.
the podcast on from Carver and then I'm doing the washing or whatever it is. But how did we end up in Bali? So we're in Bali right now.
Yeah.
Living together.
Living in Bali. Yeah.
And we both had kind of different journeys, didn't we? And how we ended up in this position where we are living in Bali.
Yeah. Very unconventional journeys. I didn't think I'd be here at this point. This is not the route that I planned to go down for my life, but it's taken me a very different step. But I feel like we should talk about how we're here.
Just
we
briefly give a little bit of context, I guess. So for my situation, I have a very severe chronic illness, and this kind of tunneled my life down quite quickly overnight. Everything in my life sort of went. I couldn't really pursue my career as an actor.
We are both actors.
We're both actors.
That's just sort of previous. We are both actors.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very long story, but I'll make it short. So basically, I was struggling a lot, and I found sort of spirituality and different things that helped me through some of the really challenging, debilitating moments in my life. And I ended up discovering a life-changing treatment that is in Thailand, and I started getting treatment there for about 7 months, and I just felt a really strong pull to go to Bali. It's a really healing place. If you don't know, it's got just such beautiful energy, doesn't it?
And I mean, you've been out since September in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, so I've been out here for like 9 months now, and I just wanted to take it in a little bit of a different direction by coming to Bali.
Yeah.
And then Carver arriving, which has made it very different as well.
She's going to call me Carver as well. She won't call me Lauren.
Yeah.
So we met on set, so we're both actors, and we first ever met. The story is like a crazy, really crazy story. But
one for another day.
Yeah, we'll be here for hours. But yeah, we met on set, and everyone just calls me Carver. So if Phoebe refers to me like that, then it's
a habit, I'm afraid.
I can't change it now. But we just got on like a house on fire, I think, when we were filming this film, and we were bunked together. Basically, we were to live together. We were roommates for literally 5 days.
Yeah, really short.
And we didn't really know much about each other. We were just kind of put together,
and I feel like we didn't have like proper time to hang out because we were filming, so we had quite
like 10 hours a day,
and it was quite an emotional film. There was a lot of like we had to be in our own space quite a bit, didn't we? So so basically I'm here sort of not in a forced position, but I have ended up having to sort of put my life on hold to a certain extent and come out here and pursue this journey. But your story's like a little bit different, isn't it?
Mine's a bit different, yeah. So I'm obviously the same as Evie, an actor. And if you're an actor, you understand the conventional route you are meant to take. You study, you go to drama school, and then you live in London, because London's where you get all the acting roles. Yeah. And you push for that and push until you get your foot through the door, so to speak, which is a tricky journey. But I always thought that was the route I was going to take. I mean, 2 months ago, I thought I'd be living in London now. And so anyway, we've been chatting since September, and we were just talking and keeping each other updated with our lives. And I am a very productive, hard worker. I like to stick my head into stuff. So I never went to uni. I just worked in a pub and did acting on the side. So tried to get all the gigs that I could do. And then I was getting quite burnt out, to be honest. I took on way too much at the pub, too many hours. Obviously, people in hospitality know what it's like. And I worked and worked and worked and was also doing acting on the side. So it was like I had a pub job, but then as soon as I finished my pub job, I do acting work and networking and things like that because it's relentless. And I worked for ages. I knew I was kind of burning myself out, knew that was happening. But with other issues that I've had, I kind of suppressed it and ignored it because I like to be active because it's what society tells us we need to be.
Exactly.
Going for goals and like making results and things. And last year I actually got a virus which was similar to glandular fever, and it knocked me for 6, that virus. And I thought I'd come over the virus, but after that I was left with just chronic fatigue and other different symptoms that just exhausted me. And obviously on top of burnout, it kind of whacked my system. But I carried on because I didn't know what was going on, and I'm very much no, I'll push through. Like, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I'll carry on. So I was doing acting, I was working, everything. And it was only until the fatigue started to get really, really bad that I quit my pub job because I couldn't do the normal day stuff, but I still pushed myself in the gym and things, and was like, no, I'm going to London. I'm going to set up a life. So I even voice noted you and was like, Evie, I'm going to London.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Hopefully when you're back from like your treatment, we can get a place in London and do it, but I'm going to start this now. And then my body just took its turn of going, no, you're not. Like, I was exhausted, and I did quite a lot of acting work up in London and travelled up and down, and just slowly started to realise that this was not what I wanted, this hustle, how busy London was. It was like my mind wanted to go there, but my body was like, you can't.
Yeah.
And there was something in my body calling me to just go very far away from all the busyness, because after, I genuinely think, 3 or 4 years of pushing my body way too far, I was getting more ill, more tired, a lot of other symptoms.
Yeah.
And I could barely function to go up to London, let alone go and live there. So I just had a bit of a change of plan. And I travelled last year in Southeast Asia, and I thought I need to go somewhere where I can just revamp and recoup myself and just not relax, but just take a different lifestyle path, which is hard because acting is, you go to London. So
so hard to change like the course of what you're sort of mentally believing you need to do.
Yeah, and tell your other actor friends. So I decided I'm going to go to Bali. I loved Bali last year when I travelled it, and I was like, I need this. I just want to explore something for a different lifestyle and maybe come back and live in London. But I just needed to do something different. And then telling everyone I'm going to Bali, they're like, but you're an actor. Why are you going to Bali? And it's,
it challenges their perception of what they should be doing too. Because it's hard, isn't it? Like when, I think we often get into that hustle culture of like, we have to work, we have to graft. And I'm the same as you. Like I'm such a grafter, and I was
headstrong,
my body, like
high achiever.
Like a perfectionist, like just trying to do, I'm like everything. I'll do
whatever narrative society creates for us.
Exactly. And it just, I feel like when you don't listen to your body makes you listen.
And that's exactly the case. And my body made me listen. My body physically said, you are not going, like I was ill, like I was just really ill, and I wanted to go to London, but my body was like, you cannot go to London, like you need to go and heal yourself. So I figured out with the doctors that this fatigue was because of the illness, and that it's not going to heal unless I rest. And rest is the last thing that I wanted to do. So I think going up to London and then carrying on with the job was not what I needed to do. I needed to go and rest, and I thought, where better to do that than here, and just also understand a bit more about my life. And I have some patterns that I know I need changing, and just to it's the classic like healing journey. On a healing journey. But it's so, if you don't do that, if you don't go and heal yourself, it will come crashing down in months to come because you haven't dealt with what you need to deal with. So long story short, I voice noted Evie and said, I'm really thinking about making a change. I said, sorry, Evie, it's not London anymore. I'm really thinking about just going out somewhere like Bali or something. And then that's when
we had like a voice noting session, didn't we, that was like
in a space
an hour. We were just back and forth, and we were I had been like in bed, like unable to move for a long time. I was very unwell, and I jumped out of bed because I was so energized by our conversation.
It was just, all I said to you was, I just really think I need to go. So, like, I'm really burnt out. Like, I was like, Evie, you're the only person I talked to about this, and I was like, I'm really struggling. I just need to go to Bali or something. And you were like, I'm going to Bali. I'm going to Bali. And then it's like light bulbs just went off in our head, and we both went, Bali.
Yeah.
Like that's
Literally. And I think it's a really strong thing as well to do what you've done, to like take yourself out of a situation that you've been so programmed to believe you have to be in. And it's not to say you won't return to that.
to acting.
You know, and that's my hope as well. But it's like you've followed what your body needed right now.
The call between my head and my heart.
Yeah.
The difficulty I had in my head of going, I'm an actor, I need to get jobs, I need to push. If it's now, it's never. If it's now, it's never. But my body was going, you need to rest. And I was like, no, I need to work. And my body was going, no, you need to rest. So in the space of literally a month, I think it was, I made the decision and booked my flight for, I think, the next month, and was like, I'm coming out. And we just said, should we both do something together? Because we're so connected. Yeah. On a different level, we are so connected.
We're very, very, and we're just, I feel like we're just very similar people as well. And I think we both have found comfort in similar tools that have helped us on our own individual journeys. And it's just got to a point where we can both explore that a little bit together, which is
it's just funny because before this we met each other twice. I think it was the period of filming and then at the premiere. And we just you just find those people that you just connect with on a different level. And then we've just voice noted, and I've opened up to you like I haven't opened up to anybody else before over voice notes. And just now we're actually here. We just made it work. We knew.
Yeah, we knew.
We knew. This is the whole bit. Universe told us. Like, this is the whole. We're going to get into the spirituality, but it felt right in my body. As soon as I remember saying to you, I was so chaotic and hectic with what I was doing. So I was like, London, this, that, getting a job, need to get a place. And as soon as Bali kind of fell into my inner knowing, everything was calm and everything was silent, and just went, you're doing the right thing. And the process was honestly, touch wood, so smooth.
We're waiting for something to go drastically.
We are honestly waiting for something to go, like a house to fall in or something like that. Just not that dramatic, but something else to fall. I mean, like a house to fall down.
Luckily that happened.
Like, where we're planning to live and just not to work. But this has been so seamless, and we really believe that's because this is the path that we were guided on and meant to go on. And now we are sat here doing a podcast that we've talked about doing for about a year.
Yeah, a long time. A really long time. It's so weird, isn't it? It's like, there's just so much. I feel like we have something to say. There's so much on our
own journeys,
that we need to say.
Yeah, and it just brings us in, I guess, to what the podcast is all about. Because I'm sure people are wondering, what is diving deep? Diving deep into what? I mean, the name is. We like the name. We think the name's very interesting, and
and I feel like it's our conversations. We never talk about like
superficial
stuff.
I
literally didn't know much about your life at all. I knew about you. Yeah, I didn't know much about like
what's your favorite color. What like
like partners or like anything like that.
Have you had your previous dates been like? When you used to date boys and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
We don't. Our conversations have always been kind of like deeper.
We skip the like, if we were on a date, we skipped the hi, how are you? And we went straight to like, what's your family trauma? What keeps you awake at night?
Literally, yeah.
But we formed that connection, and it's been such a special connection, and has opened us up to things that we're such on the same journey that we feel like we need to share with other people.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think there's an element of spirituality which we'll go into. Not much on this episode, but like we've found sort of, that can be a scary word sometimes, but we've found some comfort in the things we've discovered down that route, haven't we?
In spirituality. We're very spiritual people, I'd say. Yeah. But not to a very crazy extent, but to the point where we match that with our everyday lives. But it's helped us find comfort in our own journeys, which is what I feel like we can share with.
Yeah, exactly. And we continue to discover it. Like we're not experts by any means. We're just exploring this at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah. And the whole thing of this podcast is to dive deep into a myriad of topics that we feel like everyday people are facing. Yeah. And can't quite navigate or are confused about. And then to bridge this spiritual gap of finding solace in situations.
Exactly. And I think the world's not in alignment right now. Yeah. Obviously there's a lot going on in terms of that, but I think people are a little bit lost. I think how we're feeling isn't unusual.
No, the world is very, very heavy right now. Yeah, the world is really. All you have to do is like open the news, look at the news, watch TV, and the bad situations in the world are reflected.
Yeah,
on all of
exactly.
that. It just feels, everything does feel heavy and big
Yeah.
right now.
And I think the more we can share some tools that have helped us deal with that, the more it can hopefully help other people as well.
And I think people really want connection right now. I think what the world is lacking is a connection with each other, is trying to find common ground with other people. There's so much hate and there's so much we're different and you're better than me.
Yeah.
But we are all from one, and people are missing that whole point of finding connection and comfort in sharing stories with other people, because we all think we are all on different journeys, but the problems are so different. So different, but the way we can deal with them is so similar, like these practices and things.
And I think at the core of all of that, the more we come back to ourselves, the more we can actually connect with ourselves, the more we can connect with other people. I think we've lost quite a bit of connection to ourselves, and it's not surprising, like the way the world's set up, like society's set up and stuff. It's easy to kind of go down a path that's not actually true to who you are.
I mean, I was following a narrative that was not sitting well with me and that made me ill. Like, I followed the narrative of, you need to work busy, you need to hustle, you need to do this, and it was not my narrative, and I just need to find a different way to deal with that. And we really feel like what we're going to talk about is going to help other people through our own journeys and what we've learned, because we've had some weird experiences that we really think can help other people and kind of bring them some comfort and some understanding, and also not to preach.
No, we're not preaching. We're not. We don't want it to feel a disconnect even from you watching, because we're all on a journey, and like we're in our 20s. There's a lot of life we still have to live, and things we have to learn, and we're excited about this stuff. We're alive by this stuff. It kind of energizes us, and it's helping guide us on our journeys. But we just want to share that connection with other like-minded people.
I mean, as soon as I found a way to deal with things through spirituality and deal with my emotions and find comfort in a higher power, and that things always happen for a reason and things, my journey it's been rocky, but the way I've dealt with it I would have caused myself so much suffering. That's I think a lot of people cause themselves suffering because they're not sure how to deal with the situations that they go through. But when you find there's other ways to bring some understanding to yourself, you stop the cycle of suffering. And that's what I feel like we have to share and just bring people together.
Exactly.
I mean, because if I was on this journey if I didn't have you to voice note when I was going through all my stuff, and you connected with me on a deeper level, I don't know who I would have gone to.
Oh, mate, honestly, same. It's crazy. And because you're so like-minded and you know me on such a deeper level as well, it was nothing's off topics. It's like, no, you know.
And we thought when we were talking on the podcast, I think, because our voice notes are like podcasts to each other. When we were voice noting each other, we just thought there's got to be other people like us. Because the spiritual journey and the healing journey can be very, very lonely. Self-development, it can be lonely. You feel like you're on your own. Little do you know, there's so many other people going through the same thing, but we're not aware of it, and we haven't invited it. So we just want to create a safe space for so many other people who are struggling, who are like, what is life right now?
How to get through from whatever position you're in.
Honestly,
it can feel, like you said, just so isolating. And if you've found some sort of comfort in these things, but you don't have the support to kind of bounce that off with anyone.
You don't have like-minded people to go, I did this and it really worked. I mean, I look at the news and I think, what is life? Like, where are we heading right now? And it can it can drive you into a hole of, I give up. But there's hope to cling on to, which is what we want to try and spread.
Exactly.
In a fun way.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be deep. There are going to be deep moments. There's going to be deep conversations.
Through a lot of raw, honest. We're not going to sugarcoat stuff.
No BS. It's just going to be to the point. We're going to talk about life as well. It's not just going to be all spiritual.
No.
But we're going to use spiritual insights and integrate that into how certain things that we come across in our lives as well.
And breaking this spiritual stigma, which is one of our missions, because people think a lot of things when they think spirituality, but that's not the case at all.
It's not as scary and like odd as people think it is.
If you open yourself up to it, it's a beautiful thing. And I've met people who have been like, I've changed since I've opened myself up, and it's so much more loving. And we always think, if the world was just more loving, what would we come to? Such a beautiful, happier place.
No, exactly. So yeah,
should be some fun talks. I mean, we're in our 20s, like you said. It's going to be a bit of a crazy, lot of crazy stories because we have had that. We're not wise in telling you what to do. We're on this journey with you, and we're trying to help you.
Yeah.
Now we're basically trying to help you navigate your life.
Yeah, exactly.
To help you find connection with yourself in a more authentic way.
Yeah. And explore like the ups and downs of us trying to do that too, because it's easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah.
There's definitely times when I'm going about life and I feel, sometimes I can feel like a victim, and I spot myself and I'm like, okay, and then I have to sort of bring myself back again.
Putting your ego in check.
Yeah, and it's that process that actually, that is what it is. You know, it's not just being perfect straight away and being super spiritually aligned or anything. Yeah. It's like, life's hard and it's going to knock us all around forever.
But how do we deal with that?
But how do we deal with it?
In a way that doesn't cause more suffering to ourselves or
other people.
If you just bring it back to yourself and find these tools to help you deal with it, and know that we're all in the same boat. We are all in the same boat. You think you're so isolated, and that's the like pivotal thing of like people being angry and causing hate towards each other because they think they're on their own.
Yeah.
We're not. We're all together.
Yeah, exactly.
In this, we feel like we've got a lot to share. I feel like a lot goes on in our brains, and we're like,
so much.
We want to dump it to dump it.
There's many things that we're going to be talking about, and
and we just want people to be along with us and learn it with us, rather than this is how you live your life.
Yeah,
because no one's got the answer.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone has the answer to how you live your life.
No, definitely not.
Only you do. But you can find comfort in listening to other people and maybe taking that on.
And a lot of things as well, especially with like spirituality, it's not necessarily learning something, it's just to sort of bring you back
open.
It reminds you of what you already know.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of to, like, these conversations, the reason we're even doing this podcast, we could do this without cameras on us, which we already do.
Yeah.
And it helps bring me back to myself.
Right.
And that's what I hope for people watching. It's like, if that can sort of remind you of what you already know and bring it back
to yourself, because we all came from this one, not to get too spiritual already, but we all came from this one source.
Yeah.
And we think this life is normal, the life that we're living with all this simulation, all this work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And the spirituality has become such a crazy thing, like it's unnormal, but it's the most normal thing because you are from Mother Nature, you're from Earth. That's the most normal thing, connecting back to yourselves. We've forgotten who we are as we go through all these like traumas and pains.
Yeah.
And then you're like, who actually am I at the core? And once you find that, and once you dig deep into that, you find such
dive deep.
Once you dive deep, she call it dig deep.
Dig deep instead.
Yeah, once you dive deep into that, you find you're like, I'm home. I feel like when we have these conversations, I'm home.
Yeah.
And I go about my life to try and make it a more positive place to other people and more of a happier place for myself to live.
Yeah, exactly.
And if everyone did that, we'd
have a lovely little world. It'd be really nice.
Yeah.
But we can all start to make little movements in that direction. I think that's good enough for now, isn't it?
I mean, who said that quote? That's a big change starts from small change. Something. I think someone said it. I don't know.
I've listened.
This is now Lauren's quote.
The Lauren Carver.
Change starts from small steps. Small steps.
Yeah.
You can make big changes.
Yes. Something like that.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun as well. Like when you actually lean into this.
God,
it's so fun.
The amount of things I've been like, wow.
Yeah.
My mind has been blown. And there's going to be a lot of like cynical people being like, oh, I'm skeptical about that. But
yeah, of course.
Once you listen and you understand, you realise this is all crafted in the right way. This the world and the way that we're living.
And just like give it a go. And if it resonates, it resonates.
Yeah, you literally lose nothing.
Yeah.
You lose absolutely nothing by listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
You might lose half an hour of your lives, but hopefully you gained something.
Yeah, get a bit of clarity as well. And this episode is actually one of 3 that we're going to be putting out today. So if you enjoyed this one, go and have a little look at the other 2.
Breaking the Spiritual Stigma, which if you're skeptical, if you're a bit cynical about spirituality, go and watch that one, because you'll realise it's not like we're quite normal people.
Yeah, we're very normal.
We are normal people.
We're not sat on a mountain with a crystal on our head. Like
no,
it's not that.
Yeah.
Give us a year or 2. No,
it is about bridging that gap of spirituality, and because people won't go to spirituality because they think, oh gosh, that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
That one, and that's why so many people then cause more suffering for themselves, because they don't they won't, it's like a block. They won't let themselves go there because they think, oh, no, I'm not associating with that.
Yeah.
But we're trying to aim to make it a bit more normal.
Exactly.
Make the unnormal a bit more normal.
And the third episode is breaking out of societal norms and following your truth.
Which is a massive one. Any creatives out there that will really resonate with you should do.
Yeah.
Because we're programmed to live a certain way. And for some people, it's just not. It's not the way they're meant to live. They're not meant to go and live down that path. And I feel like society's slowly breaking. Like, I feel like people sense that there's something in society that's just not. The old ways aren't working anymore. It's chipping off, and more people are following their truth because that's their aligned purpose and path.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to encourage people to do. You don't need to go and follow society all the time.
And you don't have to break out completely and move to Bali or anything.
Yeah.
But there's ways to sort of get more space within what you're doing, so that you're not consumed by society and the norms of what we have to do to survive.
Yeah, I mean, we are in Bali and it is beautiful. We're so fortunate to be here, but there is other ways you can do that at home. We've needed to distance ourselves from the environment that wasn't making either of us fulfilled or happy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and any support you can give on this episode or any of the other ones, we really appreciate it. We're a new thing, we're trying to get it off the ground. Any support, any likes, to
really help it grow, because we've got a lot of ideas and we want to build a community. We have a lot of high aspirations and hopes, and that will really help if we have people supporting us to see what we can actually do and get into.
Exactly. And we're excited to connect with you as well. If anyone is like-minded and wants to just understand a bit more about this or share what you're going through or things you've learned, this is a space where you can do that.
And we will be sharing our stories and other people's stories. So we know we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you.
This far. And we'll hopefully see you on the next podcast.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.